Clair de Lune from scratch. Okay, we've had an overview of some of the rules that are going to govern most of the notes being on black keys. So let's go ahead and start playing some of those notes. All right? So let me go ahead and cut out the first measure and get us started with that. Let's go ahead and cut this out over here. Okay, just from here to here. Go ahead and copy that. And let's go over to a new page over here and paste that over there. All right? Straighten it out a bit. Okay, so let's start off by taking a look at the very first notes over here. All right? Now remember, we're looking at notes, even though this is on the top, this is on the bottom, we're pretty much in the same range. So our hands are going to be both in the upper range, upper register of the keyboard. Okay? So let's find these first two notes. Remember, the belly over here is a G. Second line up from the bottom is a G. So that makes us move to F over here, and then A, or as you remember, the global rule, A flat. Okay? Remember, there's only two notes that are not going to have automatic flats, and those are going to be C and F. Okay? Everything else we can assume will have a flat, so bear with me. So let's go back and just get my red color back here. Okay? So F and A flat. Okay? We play those together. All right? Now let's find the next notes over here. This is G again, and I'm going to use a skipping method. Basically, all I'm going to do is skip notes by skipping lines. That'll help me find my notes a little bit faster. And if this is G over here, A, B, B skip is going to be D, E, F. Okay, I'm over here at F, and then that's one of my safe notes, so I don't have to use a flat. A. Okay, if you're climbing up and you start running out of lines to climb up, we make these mini lines, or we call them ledger lines, to continue climbing as needed. We draw small versions of the longer lines that we use to read music. So we have one of these over here. F, G's on the space, and so here A is on the line. A is not in our safe zone, so that's going to be an A flat over there. Okay, notice something? F and A flat, and then F and A flat over here. Okay, very good. Now, a couple more things we see here. First off the bat, we see that these two notes are the same, these two notes are the same, but they're connected by this funny line over here. And this line has a special rule. Anytime you have two of the same notes connected by lines like that, this is called a tie. And these ties basically mean that when you play them, you hold them and will continue holding them through the value of the next notes. Okay? I'm not going to go into too much detail, only as needed. These are going to be short lessons, but we'll pick up the theory as we go along. Okay? So suffice to say, you're going to play this and then hold, so you don't need to play the next set of notes. Okay? And then we're going to go on to this portion over here. Okay? So we had A flat up here, right? And F over here on the bottom. A flat up on top over here, F on the bottom there, okay? From there, A flat on top, remember the F on the bottom? Take a look at this note. See that this note over here is the same as this note. See that? So we had, now the top is going to be the same note over there, and let's count it down from there. F, E, D, that's not in our safe zone, so that D becomes a D flat over here, okay? So, let's go ahead and write those note names for you. F, D, flat. We move it down. And you can use a 4 and a 2 here, and a 4 and a 2 here if you like. And then, okay, really doesn't matter what two sets of fingers you want to use. If you want to use those, you can do that. If you want to use a 5 and 3, that's okay. I like the 4 and 2 because the 4 and 2 are roughly the same size fingers, and it can give me kind of an equal sound by having similar length fingers like that. Okay, so here's what I prefer to use: 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, both hands, and then I just move my thumb up to the D flat there. See that? Okay, and that's the opening. Okay. Oh, by the way, I should mention, because I was trying to play with the camera angles to look at my feet as well as my hands, and it wasn't working out too well. Even if I had the camera back far enough, it wasn't going to make it clear. So what I did is I activated another program to work simultaneously as I play the acoustic piano. So it's actually also reading this as a MIDI signal. The basic effect being that, as you can see, I can show you how I'm pedaling with my right foot. Just and again, if you're not familiar with what the pedals do, the piano makes its sounds by having you, when you push your keys down, hammers are going up and striking strings that are strung across the soundboard. Okay? And when you release the key, there are these dampers that come back down and dampen or stop the strings from vibrating. Now, the pedals have various functions, and even though you see 4 pedals in this digital representation, most pianos will have only 2 or 3, usually 3. But if you only have 2, don't worry. The pedal on the far right is always going to have the same function. So the pedal on the far right here, that'll be the same function here. I'm using it with my right foot. Push it down, and you hold it down, and the notes will sustain after hitting them on the keys for as long as you have your foot down. And as soon as I lift my foot up, as you can see with the pedal, the sound will stop. Okay? So if you want to, you can follow along with how I'm using my pedal as I play. So let's just do the beginning again. I like putting the pedal down first. Okay? Don't have to do that, but if you'd like to give that a try, you can follow along. So just keep your eye on the pedaling that way too. And as we go along, I'll also explain how I'm using the pedal, which is a very important part of learning this piece. Okay, very good. That's the first measure. I'll see you at the next lesson.